What's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Alex from Alex's Innovations, and today we are going to be crocheting a little leggy frog and talking about that leggy frog, and maybe talking about markets, and maybe talking about other things too. I don't know, I'm just here for the vibes. This is an example of what the frog will look like. Instead of being open and holy, he will be sewed up and he will have a little smile and cheeks. But I thought about making this vlog when I was like here, and I was like, I want to finish this frog and then, you know, go straight to the vlog. So I don't know if this is a vlog, just a video, just me crocheting and filming it. So that's why he's not finished yet, but I'll show you some other examples of some frogs. Actually I won't, because I don't know where they are right now, but I'll put some pictures here. But these frogs typically do really well during my craft fairs, and I have another one coming up in about a week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Anyway, this is some low effort content where I'm basically crocheting a frog and like sharing it with you, and maybe you will learn the goodness of crochet frogs. Maybe you don't know how to crochet and you're just here for the vibes. Maybe you're like, when will Alex make friendship bracelets again? Hoping that I whip out my clipboard halfway through this video, which will not happen. This is strictly a frog only video. Congratulations, you get to enjoy me talking instead. Also, it's very warm in here because I shut my air conditioner off for sound quality purposes, and it is warm. And also, I got back from the gym like an hour ago and I was vibing too much to, you know, go change into more appropriate clothing and shower and everything. So I'm here. So that's why I look like a gym bro, cause I'm an aspiring gym bro. In between me talking at you, I'll have to like count because I can't really crochet. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19. Oh no, I'm using blanket yarn, so it's really hard to see. I'm working with Bernat baby blanket yarn in the shade Misty Jungle Green. Why call it green when you can call it Misty Jungle Green? You gotta meet that word count, you know? This coincidentally almost matches my hair. It would match my hair if my hair was washed with shampoo like a couple more times. I do crochet frogs in a variety of colors at my markets, and a lot of people buy the green ones first, and then other people are like, where are the green ones? So I think it's important to have a wide variety. Also, I'm gonna move my chair up because you guys can't really see me crocheting unless I sit up. There we go. It's a fun gamer situation. The eyes of these frogs are bobble stitches, which are always fun because this is like really thick yarn, and then you have to keep like 6 loops on your hook at the same time and then zoop it all together. And then you got these little eyes, little eye for a little guy, right? I never make enough green ones. Like I always make one of each color, and then the green one always sells out first, and then I have trouble finding green yarn. So I specifically bought like a green yarn that I don't use for my other plushies. Like what I try to do is I try to buy one yarn color that I can use for like 2 or more plushies, just so I can make a variety of things, but with that yarn color. So I was working with like a lighter one. It was like pastel teal almost, that I made like a triceratops out of, but I didn't make a frog out of it, and I should have, because like my other green one that was Sweet Snuggles Light, I made, this is like incoherent babbling of yarn types, specifically how it relates to frogs. I told myself I would not cut anything out, like I wouldn't go on any rants and then cut out the rants. I might have to change that though, because like I want this to be like an authentic stream of consciousness video. Like I didn't plan out what to say. Like I just told myself, you know, you have permission to stop and count the stitches if needed, to try and prevent, you know, going back and wasting time and then unraveling and then redoing. But other than that, I wanted it to be sort of a look inside my brain, inside my thoughts when I'm crocheting these. That's what you're gonna get. But basically, these frogs are pretty quick. They usually take me between 20 minutes and half an hour to do. They take a little slower from using thicker yarn just because it's harder to work with, and also thicker yarn's more expensive. So if I were to make these with really tiny yarn, I'd charge a little less than I do now. I typically charge $10 for these, which I feel like is a fair price, because if it takes me half an hour, each of these is $10, and these can probably make 8 to 10 frogs. I've never like only made frogs with one skein, but I could do it by weight. So I could weigh a frog and then see how much that weighs, you know, weigh it before you stuff it and weigh it before you put eyes in it, just like the pure weight of the yarn used to make that frog. and then weigh the entire yarn and then, you know, do some division. I'm sure that would be a really easy way to figure out how many leggy frogs you could get from one skein of yarn. But I feel like $10 is a good price because say my skilled labor is like $20, you know? I don't know. I mean, minimum wage at my university it's 15. I know federal minimum wage is $7.25, which is less than half of 15. I don't think $15 per hour is agreed as like a livable wage per se. It certainly depends on where you live. Like definitely not in New York City, but maybe in like a more rural town where the cost of living isn't as high. So say 20 because it's highly skilled labor. You need a college degree to do what I do. Like I'm minor in entrepreneurship and management, and some of the things that I'm learning in my classes are pretty important and helpful, but you certainly, you know, it's a minor, that's 6 classes and then you get the minor. That's not a degree. You don't need a degree to run a crochet business. So it's not skilled in education sense, it's skilled in that this is like a handicraft, and you know, it's taken me many years to become this fast and to do it like without looking, I guess, and to just develop the skills needed. Like some people are like, well, I could make that if I learned how to crochet and watch a couple of YouTube videos. And like, yeah, you could make it if you learned how to crochet, but you learning how to crochet from a YouTube video and doing this after 1 week or 1 month is not gonna look as good as mine, when I've been doing it since I was 6 years old and now I'm 21, so that's 15 years. So certainly I didn't crochet straight through those 15 years, but you get the idea. Like the skill accumulates over time. You don't just get worse at crocheting. I realized I should be keeping track of these rows because once you make the row with the eyes, then you do 4 rows of just straight single crochets. So I should be counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have 1 more. Uno mas. I recently switched to editing videos with CapCut instead of iMovie because iMovie kind of would like freeze every 2 minutes, and it was really hard to have it run. And also, like, the main qualm, I guess, is that you can't have more than 1 overlay with iMovie at a time. So if you want to have like a bracelet pattern, then you want to have an arrow pointing to something on that pattern, and you want to have both of those on top of a video of me making the bracelet, you can't do that. You have to superimpose the pattern on top of the video clip of me making the bracelet, export that as a video file, and then come back and then insert that into a new video file and then insert the arrow on top of it. So that's a pain in the behind. And I have done that for some, you know, shorter videos, not really for YouTube, but for school. I used to make these like dad joke videos. It was a weekly segment for my high school's broadcasting company. So every week I'd prepare, or not every week, but like every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, I'd prepare a dad jokes segment for my school. And then it would stream to the whole school, which is like 800 students and teachers. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where the YouTubing career began. No, I was making YouTube videos concurrently with my dad jokes stint. My first YouTube video, I think, came out in 2018. And in 2018, I was either a sophomore or a junior in high school. So either my 3rd to last or 2nd to last year in high school, depending on when in 2018. It was October 2018, so that would be junior year for me. I was like wondering what kind of videos to make because I wanted videos to be unique. Like if I did how to make a candy stripe, like everyone knows how to make a candy stripe because there are already videos about how to make a candy stripe that exist out there. So I made how to make DNA because I wanted to be like establishing myself as a unique and different creator, not like other girls. I noticed that video didn't do as well as I was hoping, like even after some time. One of my like next videos was really popular, and it was like how to make a dovetail bracelet or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is very warm in here, by the way. I'm wearing this and I'm wearing shorts. There's no breeze in here either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are for his arms. He has to have arms. I theoretically could make his hands longer and then just make him more leggy, but there's like diminishing returns when it comes to the degree of leggy because the more legs you give him, the less structurally stable he is if he were to be converted to a real frog. I don't know. Anyway, we're 12 minutes in. I've already made these. I'm just looking at like the video recording timer. I'm filming this on my phone so I can see like, you know, the little thingy at the top. Certainly, hopefully it's not 12 minutes since you watched this because I'm probably doing little cuts and whatnot. Because remember what I said about I'm not going to cut anything out? I'm sure that's a lie. I'm sure I'll find something to cut out. We don't need to have me just rambling on now, do we? But if you're here and you do like listening to me talk, or you're crocheting or making your own bracelet, or in bed just sleeping and want my voice is some calming background noise while you sleep. I won't put any jump scares. Enjoy. So my arms are done. So now we have to do, oh, before I make the rest of it, I have to give them eyes because the frogs have eyes. So I use 10mm eyes. These are my eyes. I have larger eyes that I use for larger animals, or like larger creations, I should say, because a mushroom's not an animal, it's a fungus. These are the ones that I use. So I use 10mm eyes, so I just kind of stick them like in the center-ish. I can't do this on camera. Like that. And then stick them like that. This usually takes some trial and error, so you don't just stick them and be done with your day, but you can stick them in and move them around. But this looks pretty centered, so I'm gonna take this, and then I have the little thingies to keep them in place, and then you kind of stick it inside, and then like press really hard. I'm not gonna give a tutorial on how to do this, but yeah. Okay, hold on. The whole point of these, they're called safety eyes, because if a child or like a pet, okay, got this one, were to like put the frog in their mouth, then this would hopefully prevent it. I'm gonna try another one. Sometimes the washers don't match the eyes, so they don't perfectly fit, even though they're all supposed to be interchangeable. But they're very slight variations, and I can never tell them apart. And they're also variations within brands, but I was able to get these two on. That looks acceptable. This one's a little downward facing, but it's fine. Okay, now we will close the eyes so that I don't accidentally knock it over onto my floor. Find my crochet hook, which is a size J, which I think is 6mm, but I'm not sure. This one just says J citation. Let's go. We're gonna make 6 rows after the arms. Again, this is not like a pattern tutorial, because I paid for this pattern, and it's not good manners to pay for a pattern and then basically release it for free in a YouTube tutorial, so I'm not doing that. I'm saying 6 rows because I might take my hand off and write down something, and that's because I'm keeping track of how many rows I'm doing, because I can't keep track of it when I'm doing this normally, like not talking to a camera. Like I usually keep track on a sticky note. Like here's my tracker for the last one, so that's rows 9 through 14, and then I just have a cross. So for this one, since I don't have to write down 9 to 14 again, because I'm a little lazy, I'm not lazy, I'm efficient, as my geometry teacher used to say, I'll just make a cross the other way, so I won't write down 9 to 14. But you get it, you get it. I lost all my stitch markers in the move between my house and my college house, like my parents' house and my college house, so I'm using a paper clip until I can find all of my stitch markers again, which is like a little DIY. It's a little too DIY, but it works. And also all my stitch markers are green or blue, so if I'm making a green plushie, it's really hard to keep track of the stitch markers, and also sometimes they fall out. Like I'll just hold it wrong and it'll fall out, whereas the paper clips actually do a decent job. Ooh, I probably should spin this yarn eventually. I've been doing center pull, but sometimes it gets stuck and it doesn't like flow freely, so maybe I should wind it one of these days. Also, I bought a bunch of yarn at home, and then I had to leave it all home because I get one suitcase to take with me on a train for 7 hours, including a transfer in a big city. So it's kind of annoying to carry multiple suitcases with you, even if you're like, they don't weigh your bag, they don't check your bag. I think you can have up to 2 personal suitcases and like 1 carry-on, like a backpack, but they don't really check. And like I've seen people walking with like a duffel bag, a backpack, and 2 suitcases, and that's fine. So my suitcase was 60 pounds. I weighed it on my bathroom scale. I carried it, stepped on the scale, and then I put it down, weighed it, and subtracted it to see how much it weighed. It was 60 pounds coming here for the new school year, which is an improvement over 65 pounds, which is what it was last time. And it was absolutely an assertion of dominance when I had to overhead press a 65-pound suitcase into the overhead storage compartment, if you are familiar with Amtrak. And it didn't fit this time around because it was too thick with 3 C's, so my back kind of took all the weight instead of my shoulders, because I had injured my back the week before. I deadlifted too much too soon and I hurt my back. I was precious cargo, but no worries. Had I packed the yarn, I might not have made it, but I left the yarn at home, so I'll have plenty of yarn there when I go home for winter break. But that means here I have no yarn other than what I have left over from last semester. So I just have a bunch of measly skeins of yarn in the back. So I wanted to get some yarn, so I bought more yarn, and it's on the bookshelf and you can't see it. I'm not going to show you because I want to crochet this frog as fast as possible so I can be like, I crocheted a frog in 20 minutes. But it's 19 minutes and 4 seconds right now that we've been recording, and already we are almost done. Look at him. I have already forgotten to keep track of how many rows I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. So I'm finishing up the 5th row, and then we'll have a 6th row, and then we'll make his bottom legs. Oh yeah, I've been editing with CapCut. CapCut's really fun because you can have text just pop up like this instead of fading into the foreground like with iMovie and then fading back. Like with iMovie you can't just have text appear, which is really annoying because if you're editing something really quickly or you want to edit it in like kind of a meme format. Like I've been watching a lot of Lean Beef Patty on YouTube just because she's kind of my superstar. She has a lot of text just pop up and you can't do that on iMovie. And I've seen other people edit, and I know Final Cut Pro, I'm sure you could do that, but Final Cut Pro is $200. No, it's $300. Well, it's $200 if you get the bundle with like 5 student apps, but it's $300 if you just buy it alone. So if I were to buy it, it would be in my best interest to buy it when I'm still a student. But if I can't do that, like if I graduate, then I have to buy it for $300. Okay, we're making his legs now. It is still warm in my room. I bet if I were to turn the air conditioner on, it would say that it is 79 degrees right now. Perhaps as a special end to this video, I'll unrack the phone from the tripod and show you my air conditioner so we can see truly how warm it is in here. If you don't understand Fahrenheit, I'm sorry that I'm a silly American and that our country has refused to switch. I have a decent understanding of Celsius, but only in a scientific context. So I know what 0 degrees Celsius is, I know what 25 degrees Celsius is, and I know what 100 degrees Celsius. That is called scientific education, kids, where they really don't do much else. And then, you know, I know the respective kelvins of all those things. Do I? Well, it's just, you just add 273.15 to each of them. One of my roommates just came home because I heard the door open, so hopefully they don't question why I'm talking to myself on the 3rd floor. It's so warm up here. It is 95 degrees outside today. Last time I checked, it might be warmer now that it's later. It's in Baltimore. I live in a city. I live in a house and my air conditioning's turned off. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. I'm so close. Okay, I think she's gone in her room. Well, it's okay. I think my roommates know that I'm a YouTuber. I'm living with the same people. Oh! Forgot I had Coke here. Hold on. It's a little rubbed off, but it says Class of 2024, JHU can be Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. Class of 2024 is me. That's when I'm graduating. Yeah. I kind of wish I had one more year here because I feel like I missed out on the college experience. I don't mean here, I mean like last year in college. Like I really don't like living in Baltimore. I'm noticing he slopes downward a little bit, like it goes like this. I'm exaggerating, but you can see, and it's because I started crocheting looser down here. I was just holding the yarn less tightly. We're gonna finish him off here, pull him through. So this is 24 minutes and 27 seconds that I have made this. Booyah, baby. Although we're not done yet because we still have to stuff him. I bought a big 2-pound bag of stuffing, but for easy access I put some of it in this shoebox, this glorious shoebox of yarn scraps, which I should add this one of for last time. So we'll add him in there. Oh dear. We'll add him in there, and then we'll stuff him. We don't need too much stuffing for this. We only need a little bit. That's the glory of these, is that they're really good for using up scrap yarn because they don't need that much yarn and they don't need that much stuffing. So you could put like a little stuffing in a Ziploc bag and then take that with you to like a market and do that. I feel like this footage is going to be completely unusable because I'm talking really fast and I'm sorry, but it's really warm in here. We're almost done. Feel free to use the video slow down feature if you want, but if you think quickly and or talk quickly and you like it when other people talk quickly because your brain can process it quickly, then I might be the guy for you. You want him to be like skinny. He is watching his figure. Bro is on the cut. Bro is not bulking. Oh dear, I'm just a gym bro now, aren't I? I really want to do a gym vlog, but I go to the university gym and I would probably get thrown out and or trashed immediately. Made fun of is the word. I don't like using yarn scraps in these because yarn scraps can sometimes like disrupt the consistency of the fiber fill. So I prefer to only use polyester stuffing or polyfill in here. He has a little bit of a belly. That's about it. He's pretty squishy. we're all done here. Sew him up, about to do surgery. Look what I found, needle. It's a yarn needle. I gotta do a thumbnail. Okay, we'll wait till he's done, but I'll just do a thumbnail of me being like, frog. That should be an excellent thumbnail. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video. Maybe I should call this video like, being entirely too warm and also making a frog, Alex from Alex's Innovations. No, we need an actual video title. Make a frog with me and chat about markets and air conditioning. That seems like a decent title. Maybe I'll put in the description, I talked too quickly, sorry. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the music either, because usually I do like a slow guitar vibe to create the zen, but I am the farthest from zen right now. I am entirely too warm, and that is not the mood. This is basically being outside in Baltimore Simulator, but instead of being outside, I'm inside and still warm. At least it's sunny outside, which is nice, because inside it is not sunny. My room has no sunlight. But once I show you the air conditioner, I'll back up and show you the only source of light in my room, which is not very much, so I'm kind of like a vampire in a cave over here. So hopefully I don't develop seasonal depression, but we'll keep you updated. We're all sewn up, so now I just have to, you know, weave this in. We got a knot. Once we've knotted, we're just going, oh, it's kind of a bad knot. We're just going to stick this yarn somewhere in here and poke it out somewhere else and kind of zoom it in. There we go. So that's like where the yarn came from, so you can't really see it anymore. Then it's sticking out here, so I'll just go back in and bring it more up just to hide it a little more and make it more likely it won't unravel, although it's not likely it's going to unravel. And then just cut it close to where it comes out of. And you have a frog! Now I have to embroider it. I'm gonna save this for the yarn scrap, so I'm gonna grab my pink yarn, and I also have some black embroidery floss, so I'll throw them out. I'll do some pink yarn first. And I typically don't like cutting the yarn because it just saves a little bit, so I just keep the yarn attached to the yarn bundle, and then oh my gosh. It's like I make friendship bracelet tutorials or something. Who would have thunk? So you just stick it randomly, and then you stick it out under his eye, like so. Then you bring it over here, and then under his other eye, without getting his arm caught, like so. Oh, it's showing up like white on camera. It's pink, I promise. It's just a very light pink. And then bring it over to the other side, and then bring it back. Now it comes out of theoretically the same hole that the pink one went into. Don't pull it too tight, make sure these are both okay. And then you can tie the two together using an overhand knot or a double overhand knot or a square knot. And then we'll cut it and then just stick it inside. Just poke it a bunch of times till it goes in. And then just poke out the rest of the fuzz, you know, make sure it looks good to go. And now you have blush. And now we have our embroidery floss, so we can give him a smile. We've been recording for 31 minutes. I tried to get it under 30 so I can tell people, oh, it takes me half an hour to make, and they're like, oh my god, that's so fast. I might have to increase that number to 35, although I've never timed myself making it, you know, not talking to the camera and being very, very warm. Have I mentioned it's warm in here? But I truly am worried about the air conditioner causing problems for sound quality. Okay, so for the mouth, it's the same idea, but it's a little more complicated because you have to make, you know, a dip instead of just like a line. Bring the yarn here, and then 2 stitches over, and I won't show this part, and then 1 more in the middle of those 2, but the line lower, like this. And then you pull, and it makes this little V, and then you kind of sew it back into place so it looks like a little V. Hopefully it works out. It's pretty hard to do this with the blanket yarn because sometimes the tufts of the blanket yarn kind of interfere. I have a long weekend tomorrow, Labor Day, to not go to class and edit this video, so I might do that. But I'm working on getting his mouth all mouthy, and I don't want to pull it super tight because it's going to interfere with the blanket yarn, but I think I've stricken a good balance. We want a little tiny smile. We're basically the same guy. Okay, I left a little longer of a tail than I'd like, which wastes some thread, so I can save it for next time, or I can just throw it in the yarn scrap. I do have one little frog that I can make a smile for that I didn't finish at the beginning of this video, so I might just apply that string to him. I really thought I was going to not talk for part of this video, but it looks like I talked for the entirety of this video, which I'm surprised with because I had an exhausting day yesterday where I talked with a lot of people. What did I do yesterday? Oh yeah, I went to a farmer's market with my friends. I got a nice food. And then I'm a TA for a class. I told you guys I'm the TA, and you all were like, "You'll do a good job, we believe in you." And I was like, thanks. And I didn't believe in myself, but after the first week I believed in myself and I think I can do it. Ah! Where did it go? Okay, we'll get it later. No, it won't. I'll forget about it. Ugh, okay. Now I gotta poke this in. And we're done. 34 minutes and 4 seconds, and I have made a little guy. I'm so warm. Now I'm going to take the phone away and show you the air conditioner and my surprising lack of space. Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, also, this is how much daylight I have. So when you're standing in my room, this is like this awkward little nook and cranny where I keep all my small business stuff and also my earring collection. But that's how much daylight I have, because that's the roof and then the air conditioner. So I have about, what is that, like 8 inches of daylight? Which is not a lot, but that would be a really good name for a movie, 8 inches of daylight. Let's see how hot it is in here. 80 whole degrees. Oh my god. And there's no air circulation either. Like 80 degrees outside is very different than 80 degrees inside. How much is that in Celsius? I don't know. Sorry, I'm a bad American. Oh, it just went down to 77. Okay. Maybe, oh, it's going down. Maybe the sensor is bad. I don't know, this isn't my AC. I did put in the cool foil detail though. Anyway, back to the video. And we're back. I didn't actually get up. I'll add that footage in later. So it's still warm. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me talking and rambling and looking like an absolute maniac while crocheting this frog. If you are in the Baltimore area for the 2023-2024 academic year, you can come visit me at one of my markets in person. Follow my Instagram and I'll be posting where I am. You can say, I watch your videos. You can tell me you like my frogs. You can tell me whatever you want. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and comment. It really helps me out and I appreciate it and I love reading all your comments. Smash that subscribe button. I also have it on my resume. So if you subscribe, I'll get a full-time job. Please follow me on Instagram and Etsy. Instagram, you can see all my cool updates. Etsy, you can buy all my cool updates. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!